welcome to our channel. My name is Tiffany, and tonight I decided I was going to show you my mother-in-law's old-fashioned apple crisp recipe with a slight little twist that I do. So I've got everything pretty much prepared. You can see I've got the margarine here. It calls for, my mother-in-law always told me to double the recipe. So the recipe for the topping, so the recipe I'm going to give you has a doubled recipe. So there's 1 cup of butter that has to go and get melted. So I'm going to put it back here in the microwave and melt that. So while that's doing that, I've also got, in this bowl I've already got my topping ingredients. So I've got 2 cups of oats, a cup of flour, and a cup of brown sugar. So I'm going to take my handy dandy little spatula here and just kind of mix them all together. Get them pre-mixed before I add the butter, so that it's all pre-mixed, so we don't have any clumping or the flour doesn't, you know, make a paste instead. So there we go. So that's all mixed together. Now I'm going to check on my butter, which is behind me. Looks like it still needs a few more seconds. I'm going to grab one more ingredient I almost forgot. It's a secret ingredient that I add just for my own little flair. Alright, so I'm back. I'm gonna let the margarine sit for a second. So now that that's done, as you can see, I spared you guys watching me slice up the apples and everything. So you have to peel and slice your apples. And it calls for 3 cups of apple slices, but considering I'm doing it here, as you can see, in a big lasagna pan, I don't really measure out the apples. I just use what I have on hand, just kind of eyeball it. So just kind of spread them in there like that. Yeah. Of course, get them all out of the bowl. Just kind of break them up so that they're not all clumped together and everything like that. Like, just kind of spread them nice. And these are apples I got from the food bank. Actually, everything you see here is from the food bank. These are all ingredients I got from the food bank. So the apples, the flour, the oats, the brown sugar, the margarine, it's all from the food bank. So this is like a food bank apple crisp. Actually, including the secret ingredient. Just realized that also came from the food bank as well. So, all right, so you just get the apples like that. Nothing too fancy or schmancy or anything like that. You can add more apples if you want. You can add less if you want. I've also had it where people, sometimes if they don't have enough apples, add a little applesauce in there just to kind of give it more of an apple pie type whatever. So now I know you're supposed to shrink, the recipe calls for a 1/2 cup of sugar to be sprinkled over these apples, but we find that way too sweet. And with a bunch of diabetics in the house, we have to be a little bit more conscious about our sugar intake. So I'm going to add some cinnamon sugar. I just mix this myself, so both the cinnamon and the sugar came from the food pantry, so I'm just gonna kind of lightly sprinkle it on over the apples, kind of give it like an apple pie type taste to it. Alright, there you go, that should be good enough. So next, we put that off to the side, like that. And I bring my small counters, man. All right, there we go. So we'll bring out this mixture again, and as you see, I've pretty much got it nice and stirred. So now we're gonna go over and we're gonna check on the margarine, make sure it's melted enough. Looks like it is. So as you can see, it's still a little solidified, so I'm just gonna stir it so that it melts a little bit more. Get it off the edges. Get it melted and ready to be poured in. So there we are. Put that off to the side there. So I'm just going to dump that in. Close the microwave behind me too. And of course use the spatula to see what I can get out, all of the goodness I can get out of there. Okay, so I'll put that off to the side. And then you just kind of stir this around and incorporate it until it becomes a crumble. There you are. As you can see, it's pretty much a little bit left that's not quite fully incorporated. That's okay. It will once it starts to bake. So there it is. So now you take this mix, kind and you spread it over your apple mix. So, oh, that's right. You people at home can't see if I do it that way. So go from this angle. Get the majority of it covered, like you see now. I have the majority of it covered. And we'll just take that and put that over at the sink. All right. So, like I said, just kind of, sometimes I have to go over a little bit and just kind of spread it out a little bit more evenly, move some stuff over, get a little bit kind of like that. All right, so now I've got my oven preheated to 350, and we'll stick that in the oven for an hour and be back with you when it's ready to eat. All right, everybody, so it has now been an hour, and as you can see, it's nice and golden and everything like that. So we're going to take it over and cut into it and show you guys what it looks like in the bowl. All right, and as you can see, we've got it in the bowl. You can see I got my bowl over there, I got Milla's bowl over there, and Daddy's already stolen his bowl. Yeah, that was just it. I put it in the bowl and boom, and like Bella just did, it was gone. So now it's time to go out, and we're going to do a taste test. Be back with you shortly. Okay, y'all, so I'm out here in the living room, and as you can see, Bella is with me, so we're going to try this. She's never had the apple crisp before, so this is her chance to try it. So why don't you try it and see how you like it?
Okay.
Get a little bit up on.
Me chewing, please.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I don't feel comfortable with that.
All right, she doesn't want to be on camera, but she's putting it in her mouth right now. I'll do a play-by-play. Okay, can I record you now? All right, are you ready, everybody?
It's actually pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's it taste like?
Cinnamon.
Apple cinnamon oatmeal?
Yeah, basically.
There you go. Okay, everybody, so an unbiased opinion. She's never had it before, so there you go. I've made it multiple times before, but hubby's always gotten to it first. So now it's my turn. Let's see, is it as good as I remember? It's been a while since I've made it, so I got it on that damn thing. There we are. All right.
It's a perfect mixture of like crunchy, soft.
Awesome, it turned out perfect. And another little tip with this stuff too is you can also take and put a little thin layer of applesauce on the bottom of your baking dish, and then take the topping and spread it over top like that, and you can make yourself a cute little granola bar. It's actually, I do it all the time, so it's really, really good. But anyways, thanks everybody for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see everybody in the next one. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I'm going to sit here and I'm going to take some, yes. You going to do the taste test with me?
Yeah.
All right, sit beside me.
Eat.
Okay. Flip it around. Put some elbow grease into it. Unless you have a hand mixer. Or 2 children. I mean, I could have used them if I wanted to. They would have had fun mixing this.